As you stumble through life, you visit places. Some are not dramatic, they're not famous or particularly grand. They just belong to their time. And each time you return, they reveal something more about themselves. Otterhead Lakes are located on the Blackdown Hills, close to the Somerset and Devonshire border. They are very easy to pass by, as they are hidden at the very edge of a sideways glance down a country road. If you're driving and you blink, they'll be behind you. As you walk, an old kitchen garden slowly appears, behind the veil of time that nature has created. It is scarcely believable now, but this quiet home to bluebells and badgers, dragonflies and ducks was once a carefully designed landscape belonging to a mock Tudor mansion that overlooked the lakes. The Victorian desire for order was imposed upon the natural world through its paths, terraces and formal plantings that shaped the hillside. The estate was developed by William Beedon, who was a local Liberal politician. He unsuccessfully stood to become the MP for Taunton, and who, through correspondence, we know was connected to the Anti-Corn Law League. Beedon also had time to become an inventor, and he patented the eaves gutter tile, which was exhibited at the Great Exhibition of 1851. He was, like so many Victorians of means, a man who believed in progress and improvement. Otterhead became part of his vision, and after his political life he used his surgical skills to operate on and shape the landscape. But eventually people pass, the dreams fade. And as the ticking clock marches forwards, their visions are slowly lost behind the curtain of time. This area isn't filled with nature's greatest hits. There are no fast-flowing rivers, no large waterfalls, and there are definitely no mountain ranges. Instead, the Blackdown Hills are comforting. They contain the brushstrokes of a peaceful Sunday afternoon. Gentle woodland, trickling water, birdsong like a lullaby, and moss, which covers stonework and fallen trees like a fluffed-up duvet. Only 2 lakes remain from the original 7 ornamental waters that were once built here. It's as if they represent 2 solitary tears. The change within a relatively short space of time is staggering. A nature reserve now rests upon land that, little more than a century ago, was carefully tended by gardeners shaping the landscape to a human design. This is the top lake at Otterhead, and the house would have been behind me before it was demolished. In front of me though I have the old bridge the water runs through to the weir that I took a picture earlier. I've been able to get another composition a little bit lower than what I'm showing you now. It's looking through the weeds, and it really frames the shot beautifully. The house itself was demolished in the 1950s after fears it threatened the local water supply. And the human structures, so carefully planned, slowly dissolved back into the natural world. Only the curious walker pauses to wonder what stood here before. Perhaps just a glimpse of a gate through bramble. Or submerged steps leading quietly into the landscape. As you climb back up the long, strength-sapping slope and leave the valley behind, you allow nature to hold the gardens once more, so it may continue shaping them according to its own design. One final detour leads to the Church of St. Leonard, presumably not of Cohen. It sits unusually not in the village itself, but out in the blue, alone among the lanes and fields above Otterford. Parts of the church date back to Norman times, and for centuries it stood on the old pilgrim route between Devon's second city, Exeter, and Glastonbury. Now the churchyard's weathered gravestones serve to remind us of our own temporary existence. Great houses crumble, ideas vanish, but the landscape remains. Otterhead can stay with you for a very long time, but it always belongs to itself. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.